Happy day students. In this video, we are going to start off with the new lesson, the Master Artist, that is lesson number 2. The Master Artist was written by Carol Moore. This is the image of the author, Carol Moore. Before getting into this summary of the story, I would like to ask a few questions. My first question is, judging from the title, what do you think the story will be about? Yes. What is the name of the story? The Master Artist. What do you understand from the title? A learned person, or master of arts, or one who is expert in demonstrating the art? Yes, you people are right. Moving on to the next question. How would you react to people who think differently? Yes, you're right. There is a famous quote. Winners don't do different things. They do things differently. So this perspective helps successful people to think differently. No matter how smart or experienced we are, we will hit the same ceiling again and again if we are not thinking differently, right? Exactly. Moving on to the next question. Would you accept their new ideas if anyone is coming up with their new ideas? Would you accept them? Yes. By thinking outside the box and going against the grain, successful people rise above their limitations. With these basic ideas, we are stepping into the summary of the story. Before getting into the summary of the story, we will look about the author. Carol Moore is an author and the creator of the site Children's Storybooks Online. She created the site to fulfill her lifelong dream of writing stories for children. She also illustrates stories for children. Now, let's discuss the characters involved in the story. The main character is Monsieur Sidney Labey, the master artist of his time. The next character is Giuliano Bartoli, a rich Italian patron. What is meant by a patron? A person who supports artists and writers are called as patron. So, who are all the characters involved in the story? The first character is Monsieur Sidney Labey, the master artist of his time, and the second character is Giuliano Bartoli, a rich Italian patron. Let's get into the summary of the story. Monsieur Labey, a master artist, was ready to retire in 1392 when Giuliano Bartoli, a rich Italian patron, sent for him and said, I would like to try a portrait on this 20-feet wall. Monsieur Labey shook his head. I'm sorry, but I'm ready to retire. However, seeing Bartoli's disappointment, he continued, there is a possibility if you allow me to explore my abilities. Not for money, but for food and a bed. You need not even pose because I can see your portrait in my mind. But I insist that while I work, your portrait must stay private even from you. Of course, Bartley said, anything you wish. Let's draw up a contract. A glint came to Monsieur Labey's eyes as he thought of all that wonderful space to give imagination wings. For 45 years, Monsieur Labey had earned to paint in his own way, not the style of Byzantine or of proto-Renaissance. But the guild, his craft and livelihood, would never have allowed it, so he followed their rules. Signing the contract, the artist threw a high curtain in front of the wall. Bartley tried to peek, but Monsieur l'Abbe insisted on total privacy. A week passed. "How is it coming along?" asked the hopeful signer Bartley. Answering him from behind the curtain, Monsieur l'Abbe said, "It's coming along quite well. You know, at 8 I was apprentice to the great Ambrogio Lorenzetti. He taught me the art and not to hurry." A month passed. "How is it coming along?" Bartley asked. "It's coming along nicely," said l'Abbe. Signer Bartley heard strange sounds of swooshing, clanking, and slapping. Finally, half a year went by. Bartley demanded to see his portrait. Monsieur l'Abbe pulled aside the 20 feet curtain. Giuliano's Bartley's mouth fell open. His eyes. "How disgusting! You're not an artist. Get out." Monsieur l'Abbe wasn't sorry for what he had drawn. Why was l'Abbe not disappointed with his patron's response to his portrait? Any idea? Yes, he did not mind his patron's response because he had painted as he had always desired, putting his heart and soul into the painting. He was happy that at last he was able to realize his dream and paint his masterpiece. He had perhaps expected his reaction. Now, coming to the cause and effect of the story. The first cause. The guild did not let l'Abbe experiment with his unusual ideas. So what is the effect of this particular cause? Any idea? Yes, l'Abbe, the master artist, was frustrated that he was not able to paint as he wished. So, the cause, the guild did not let l'Abbe's experiments with his unusual ideas gave an effect that he was frustrated that he was not able to paint as he wished. Moving on to the next cause. l'Abbe was famous and recommended. Because of his popularity, what happened? Bartley, a rich Italian patron, engaged him to paint his portrait. Coming to the third cause. l'Abbe didn't allow anyone to see the portrait. What is the effect of this cause? l'Abbe was able to realize his dreams, and Bartley could not see the work in progress. And finally, this made him impatient and he was frustrated. Coming to the last cause. Bartley was not open to new ideas. Because of this cause, what was the effect? He could not appreciate the way l'Abbe had painted him. So, I hope these cause and effects are clear to you all. What are the learning outcomes of this lesson? We learn to identify the cause and effect format of the story, isn't it? Yes. And the suspense is created and maintained, and the comic touch at the end was clearly explained. This story features suspense as we have to find out if l'Abbe was able to make the best of the opportunity he has got to try out his own method of painting Battley's portrait. Yes, moving on to the next thing. We also learnt how the artist puts forth his ideas boldly and with passion. And we also deduced the meanings of new terms and phrases in the text. From this story, we all can conclude to a theme. An individual need not be wrong because he does not follow the crowd. I hope this video would be helpful for you to learn this story. Have a good day, students. Thank you.